Imagine a man who raised a lioness from a tiny cub. They shared a special bond. Years later, he learns she's been let loose in the wild. He decides to find her, unsure of what he'll discover. Will they be reunited? Or has she truly moved on? Let's discover the story. This is the story of Dario, a man who lived his dream as a lion trainer. Ever since he was a child, he had a special connection with lions. His love for them was obvious, and he spent his life caring for and understanding them. One day, Dario's friend, who had rescued a lion cub named Mia from the woods, asked him for help. Mia had been abandoned and needed someone to take care of her. Dario, being an expert, was the perfect person to raise her. At first, Mia was tiny and adorable, with big, curious eyes. She was so small that you might have thought she was just a kitten, but Dario could already tell she was meant for something bigger. Taking care of her was no easy task, but Dario was determined. As time went on, he and Mia formed a bond like no other. Dario wasn't just teaching her to be a lion, he was building a relationship that would last a lifetime. Mia grew stronger and more confident, and the connection between them became unbreakable. What started as an act of kindness turned into something much more powerful. The journey of Dario and Mia was just beginning, and together they would face many challenges, but their bond would always keep them strong. But as time passed and Mia grew, it became clear that the small sanctuary where Dario had been training her just wasn't enough anymore. Mia needed more space, a place where she could roam freely and become the strong lioness she was meant to be. After a lot of thought and searching, Dario found the perfect place for her, a larger, better-equipped sanctuary called the Black Jaguar White Tiger Foundation. It wasn't an easy choice for Dario, but he knew it was the best decision for Mia's future. As Mia settled into her new home, Dario left his job and moved far away. The distance between them was tough on both of them. Dario often thought about Mia, wondering how she was doing and if she was adjusting well. He missed her more than he could say. What Dario didn't know was that Mia was also thinking about him. Even though they were apart, the bond they shared would never be broken. 1 year passed with the memories of Mia, and Dario couldn't hold back any longer. He decided it was time to see her again. Every day he had thought about Mia, wondering how she was doing and if she remembered him. But when he contacted the sanctuary where she had been taken, they told him shocking news. They had released Mia into the wild. She had grown strong and independent, and it was time for her to roam freely in the forest. Dario was stunned. He couldn't believe they had let her go without telling him. He had raised her, and she was like family to him. He had always dreamed of the day they would be reunited, but now that dream seemed impossible. Still, the sanctuary told him that they worked with other sanctuaries near the forest, and sometimes they could get information about animals that were in the wild. This news gave Dario hope. He knew he couldn't give up on finding Mia. Determined, Dario contacted every sanctuary he could find, hoping for a lead. Then he got lucky. One sanctuary told him they had recently rescued an injured lioness from the forest. According to the staff, the lioness had been in a terrible condition when they found her, but they managed to help her recover. Dario felt a rush of hope. Could it be Mia? Without wasting another minute, Dario packed his things and rushed to the sanctuary. He told himself that if this lioness wasn't Mia, he would go into the forest and search for her himself. He couldn't give up now. When Dario arrived at the sanctuary, his heart raced with anticipation. He could hear growls and excited movements before he even saw her. His excitement grew. Was this really Mia? As he approached, he felt a mix of happiness and nervousness. The growls he heard sounded familiar, and for a moment, He thought he saw a glimpse of the playful, affectionate cub he had once raised. But the question remained: would Mia still recognize him? As Dario stood there talking to the caretakers, he asked about her injury. The caretakers explained that Mia had never hurt anyone. She was a peaceful lioness, but other lions in the forest had attacked her. When they found her, she was in critical condition. It broke Dario's heart to hear that, but the good news was that Mia was now recovering and in good health. The caretakers told Dario he could go and see her. Dario's heart raced with uncertainty. What if Mia didn't recognize him? What if she attacked him, thinking he was a stranger? He stood there for a moment, trying to calm his nerves. But then, he heard her again. This time, the sound of her growl was unmistakable. It was Mia. Without a second thought, Dario walked toward her enclosure, his heart filled with hope and fear. The moment had finally come to see his beloved companion again. But as Dario went closer to Mia, it was clear she was waiting for him. She hadn't forgotten him. With a deep breath, Dario opened the door to her enclosure. What happened next was something neither he nor anyone watching could have imagined. Mia leapt toward him with all the strength and excitement of a lioness who hadn't seen her best friend in a long time. At first, it looked like Mia was attacking. Her speed and power caught Dario off guard, and it seemed like she was going to pounce on him. But as they both tumbled to the ground, it became clear that this wasn't an attack. Mia wasn't hurting him, she was hugging him. She rolled on top of him, showing all the love and affection a lioness could give. Imagine that, a full-grown lioness, once a tiny cub, throwing herself into the arms of the man who had raised her. Dario wasn't scared at all. He recognized the love in her actions. This was Mia's way of saying, "I'm so happy to see you again." Her big paws wrapped around him as she climbed all over him, playfully nipping at his clothes and rolling around joyfully on the ground. It was a reunion like no other, one full of love, joy, and the deep bond they shared. As the reunion continued, Mia slowly calmed down and sat beside Dario. She rested her head on his lap, looking up at him with trust and affection. Dario gently petted her, a huge smile on his face, feeling overwhelmed with the love and joy that Mia had brought back into his life. This wasn't just a story about a man and a lioness. It was a reminder of the deep bond that can form between humans and animals. Dario and Mia's connection went beyond training or caretaking. It was a real friendship, one that showed love knows no boundaries, even between humans and wild animals. Their reunion video spread across the world, making people smile and even tear up. The emotions shared between Dario and Mia touched hearts everywhere. It also brought attention to the importance of protecting animals and their natural habitats, especially species like lions that are endangered. Dario used his platform to keep people updated, sharing more moments of him and Mia together. Now, at 6 years old, Mia is a symbol of hope and love. She shows that humans and animals can live together in harmony. Dario's story with Mia continues to inspire others to support wildlife conservation and help protect animals in the wild, reminding everyone that we all share this planet.